Arax here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video. We are back again taking a look at yet another one of the 14 weapons, and this time we're focusing on one that, quite frankly, doesn't get the appreciation it deserves, and I am of course talking about the Hunting Horn. Before we dive in, if you've missed any of the other videos I've uploaded recently, then you can find the Monster Hunter World playlist linked down below. There is lots to watch and there's even more on the way. Also, if you guys want a chance to win a PS4 Pro in preparation for Monster Hunter World next year, then be sure to check out the giveaway, also linked down below. And if you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated. Now, to begin with, for those of you new to Monster Hunter, the Hunting Horn is often referred to as a support weapon, and while this is technically speaking true, it's also important to understand that it's not only a support weapon. Just like all the other 13 weapons, Hunting Horn is as viable an option as any. But it also allows you to play music which can provide buffs to both you and your team, hence support nature. These buffs can range from things like attack and defense boosts to resistances to certain effects, buffs that stop your stamina depleting, etc. Different horns have different songs, and in truth the only difficulty with this weapon lies in learning those songs. Your moves are actually pretty basic, but thankfully in Monster Hunter World the new on-screen prompts make memorizing those songs a whole lot easier. If we dive into the Hunter Notes, you can see you really only have 4 core moves, or inputs, to worry about. Your attacks either come from triangle, circle, or triangle and circle. Each attack performs a note, so triangle is note 1, circle is note 2, and triangle and circle together is note 3. Performing these attacks will also queue up a note in the UI at the top of the screen here. Once you have notes lined up in the correct order, pressing R2 will then play the song. Now it's important to understand that this weapon is still very much that, a weapon. So while your attacks stack notes, once you've played the required songs, you're free to go about your business attacking like any other weapon until the songs wear off and you need to reapply them. So with that being said, your triangle attacks can be comboed, as can your circle attacks. In fact, looking at the useful combos page, you have a few examples of good damage dealing attacks. The Hunting Horn, much like the hammer, is an impact or blunt type weapon, so damage dealt to a monster's head is KO damage, so it's great for knocking out monsters. It is basically one of the best weapons for doing that. While standing still, you can alternate between circle and triangle, and should you need to reposition, you can sneak a roll in too. Pushing forward, triangle and circle together performs a powerful overhead smash, and this can be comboed for when the enemy is vulnerable. It's a little bit slower, so you need to be mindful of your openings and positionings, but it's also a great KO option. Now, jumping back to the songs for a moment, each Hunting Horn you make has a different selection of songs. You can see the available ones from the equipment menu, but you can also see them when your weapon is drawn in the top right corner of the screen. This tells you what notes you need to play each song, and the note icons even contain the button prompts, so you really don't even need to remember them. They are of course the sort of things you'll pick up over time and you'll just happen to remember them, but for those of you guys that might be jumping between different horns or just, new to the game, then honestly it's on the screen. Now, as mentioned earlier, once you've queued up the right notes and you press R2 to play the song, you can actually press R2 a second time to go into what is referred to as an encore. This will then play the previous song again, and in most instances this either improves the previous effect or applies an additional buff. All horns have a basic self-improvement song which increases your movement speed whilst moving with the horn. This only applies to you, but should always be maintained. Outside of that, all your other songs apply to you and your team. You'll also notice that on the left, near the UI, there's essentially a song prediction. When you're stacking notes, there's actually the option to, say, press the next note plus R2 to queue up that song next. So if you play, say, the first 2 notes for attack up, you can then press the prompt shown to go directly into playing that song. So while on the move front, there might not be a great deal new in Monster Hunter World, on the song front, they've definitely made the weapon considerably more accessible. Something else that is present, and if memory serves me correctly, this was introduced in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and that is the Flourish attack. See, during your circle attack, you typically perform 2 swings. Now by default, a circle attack is note 2. But what the Flourish attack allows you to do is input a second note completely free during the second spin. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to record this while I was playing since it's been a while since I used the weapon, and it was only when I got back and started editing that I noticed it in the Hunter Notes. But essentially, if during the second swing you input one of the 3 note combos, either triangle, circle, or triangle and circle together, you'll then get a free note during this time without having to perform a subsequent animation, making it quicker to stack notes that you need to play the songs. If that doesn't make too much sense, then don't worry, I'll cover that in far greater detail in my tutorials next year. For the time being, That is something else to keep in mind. But aside from that, that's pretty much all there is to it. As mentioned, the weapon is really pretty simple. Complication just comes in learning to play your songs, but since they're now on screen, that's not really an issue. As a Hunting Horn user, you want to ensure your buffs are active at all times, so when they run out, you want to play them again, but since your songs are also attacks, you can do this whilst in combat. It does however seem, like in World, that they opted to drop the Generations edition of the double notes. In Monster Hunter Generations, if you played songs whilst attacking monsters, you got double notes, and playing double notes then encored the previous song for free. That seems to be gone as far as I can see. Double notes definitely weren't showing up when I was doing it in combat, so unless they're hidden some other way, then I'm pretty sure we're back to like a 4 Ultimate Hunting Horn. Anyway, that's it for the time being. There's probably a bit more testing to be done with this weapon, but for now I'll leave you guys with the rest of my Great Jagras hunt. It includes a good number of KOs and even the mounting specific attack for the Hunting Horn 2. So enjoy that. Be sure to let me know down below if you guys have any questions, and of course, keep it locked for much more Monster Hunter World stuff from Gamescom. Thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.
Okay, you know what you have to do. Get in there and do your stuff. The Hunting Horn is a close-range support weapon that plays status-buffing melodies. Buff yourself and the team to gain the upper hand. You're less likely to lose sight of a monster if you use the focus camera. The scout flies will hide once the fight breaks out. Don't forget that. Dodge their attacks. You don't want to take hits like that head on. The monster's been immobilized. Now's your chance. Oh boy, that monster's really mad now. Be ready for some vicious attacks. You can use jump attacks to mount monsters. Yeah, you've mounted the monster. Now's your chance to topple it. Okay, it's down. Now's your chance to get in there and tear it up. Look, the monster's almost done. Chances are it'll retreat to its nest to recuperate. Okay, the monster's tired. Now's your chance to deal some serious damage.